Pop up here in the corner. And we're live. Hey, welcome to another conversation. Today is a conversation with DeAndre Coke. He's a financial advisor, and right now he works with pretty much anybody and focuses. You're out in Virginia Beach, right?
Yep, in Virginia Beach, correct.
Okay. Hey, and so I met him on LinkedIn and thought we had a great conversation, and I thought that it would be a perfect opportunity for him to get to know the everyone in the network, because you never know if you needed services. And he's a phenomenal real guy that is no punches. It's just about getting you set up for your future and how you want to have your lifestyle. And I think that's something that a lot of military veterans and first responders and law enforcement think about, but it doesn't get real until it happens. But he's here, he's able to assist you and make sure you're financially stable and living the life that you want. So, real quick, DeAndre Coke, thank you very much for being here.
Absolutely.
And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I grew up in this area. For those of you that have ties to the military, you know this is a massive, massive military community. In fact, I believe it still is the largest concentration of military in the world. And so we've got so many bases within a stone's throw of where I am right now.
Mhm.
And so I started my practice back in 2011, so about 12 years now. And very early in my career, as I was, working on building a client base and helping people and growing my relationships and reputation, I ended up getting connected into the special warfare community. A lot of the guys are, the Navy SEALs, the EOD community, all those different things. And basically, I did a really great job of planning for one guy who loved what the work we did. I was like, "Can I refer you to my friends?" I said, "Absolutely, please do." He referred me to four of his buddies. Three of them became clients. They all referred me to more individuals, and from there, we really expanded my network of individuals that I worked with, especially in the military, going from enlisted to officer, different branches, different roles. And so I built my practice in working with those in the military. And I have plenty of civilian clients as well. I've never served myself. My father actually did a few years, but I was able to
What
really.
service was your father?
Uh, Say it again. I'm sorry.
What service was your father in?
My dad was in the Navy. He was kind of a ship guy. He only
Okay.
was in for like 4 years. Ended up getting out right around the time I was born. And so, which is why I don't remember too much of his military career. But then he ended up becoming a firefighter here in the city of Norfolk. And he did 26 years as a firefighter before he retired as a battalion chief. Um,
Outstanding.
yeah, yeah. And so I grew up. My parents they always had a plan. They were always planning. And so I am an only child, and I knew by the time I was, I don't know, 12, 13, my parents' goal was when my dad retired was they were going to move back to his home country of Panama. And that was the goal. That was the plan. And they put that plan in action. And then when he retired, literally 3 months later, they moved to Panama to start building the house on land they had purchased 10 years before. So I say all that to say, I didn't grow up with a ton, but my parents were people that were planners. And
Hmm.
so I found that how important it can be to start making decisions today that can really impact your long term.
What is one of the biggest problems that you encounter when interacting with military personnel?
I think I would say that the biggest problem I would encounter, and this is really the feedback that I've been given, is the lack of education on the benefits available to them. So by meaning of every guy or girl that I've met with, they
Hmm.
said, yeah, in boot camp they just throw so much stuff at you, and they just say sign here, put this down, whatever it may be, and then you go through maybe a few years of your career or much longer without anyone giving you guidance outside of the conversations with the people that might be serving in your platoon, your troop, whatever it may be. And so a lot of what I saw were individuals that never contributed to their TSP, or maybe they never moved out of the basic G fund or whatever it may be, or no one ever really challenged them to start saving some of their paychecks. That was a lot of what I would see with individuals, and they're always like, "I'm so busy, I don't have time to really understand investing. No one's talking to me about these things." And so that's why I've always worked hard to help not just tell someone what they should do, but help provide them education on how things work and why they should or shouldn't be doing different things they have access to.
So basically, you're looking for veterans that are not financially savvy and that want to learn.
So that's a great question, Philip. Actually, I have two groups of clients. I have clients that have, that are looking to learn. Maybe they've gotten out, maybe they have disability pay, they have a retirement, and they're trying to figure out what to do with all these moving pieces. I've got
Hmm.
clients that are, enlisted or officers that they're wanting to learn. But then I have clients that are very sophisticated, they're very sharp, they've been doing a lot of great planning for years, and they want to know what they don't know, right? They want to
Yeah.
use me for the expertise on maybe some tax efficiency strategies or some estate planning strategies, legacy planning strategies, things that they might have heard of, they might have read of, but they're so complex. They don't have time to get into the nitty gritty to make sure it's done right. Or maybe my business owner clients that I work with that have built up a business, they're very successful with their business, but they might not have taken as much time to focus on their personal side. And basically,
Hmm.
they want someone to got their back, right? They have someone that they know understands them, their goals, their family, their business. So it really just depends. But I would say a large portion of my clients are actually doing very well financially. They're just looking for me to take them from good to great.
So I take it that's a big step from good to great.
It can be in sometimes in some people, but at other times, I think it really just varies. For some individuals, as an example, I've met with people that have been in the military for 18 years and their TSP was in the G fund the entire time. No one had ever told them about why they should switch to the C fund or one of the other investment options that could actually get some growth, right? So it could be, hey, make this small tweak right here. You could see some opportunity for expansion or growth, right? Or it could be, let's make this small change that could have some significant impacts down the line from a tax efficiency standpoint.
Hmm.
So it really depends on the situation, the person. Yes, it's typically not an overnight process, but really, if I have a great understanding and my team has a great understanding of what someone's wanting to accomplish, we can strategize on that path from good to great.
Yeah. So basically, you are a good person to like invest a bonus or a TDY pay or something like that, to where it's something that you don't have on a every month. But what it does, it gives you, especially a bonus. Like I said, if my situation would have been better, I'd been investing, doing a lot more.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you got to have a partner
Mhm.
that's willing to understand that as well and not just free for all.
Right. Absolutely. And I'd say the bonuses are great, especially in the special warfare community. They get typically pretty large bonuses especially when they're enlisted. Some of the officer retention bonuses, those are great too. But I find what's actually more important is the consistency aspects of planning. Right? Hey, you bring in X amount of dollars per month. Can we save Y amount of dollars each month? Can we invest Y amount? Can we have something go away more consistent? And then, yes, when the larger payouts come, the bonuses come, let's strategize on what to do with those things as well. But can we do something that's consistent? That way, we're not worried about trying to time the market. We're not trying to have the perfect timing of anything like that. We're just being consistent, and then we're adding gravy on top when we have larger contributions like bonuses and things like that come in.
Yeah, and you help them with capital gains tax and all that if they do gain it.
Yeah, yeah. So figure it. No, I'm not a CPA, so I own a financial
Well,
planning firm.
I yeah.
Yeah. True City Wealth Management. So yeah, I'm not a CPA, so I can't. My disclaimers: I can't give tax advice.
Yes.
But navigating through the impacts of capital gains, long term, short term, when you might want to hold or sell because of the impact of taxes, how that could play in with other assets you might be selling, like real estate and other things. Yes, we navigate through all those scenarios.
Yeah, because well, especially with real estate, with a lot of veterans that have, I've known some that's had bought a house every duty station, and they kept them and they rented them out and everything because they were looking at future investments.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Now, do you help people with those to better understand how to diversify their portfolio?
With real estate specifically?
Or just at all in everything that comes together?
With that, yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's the big difference in what we do and what most quote unquote financial advisors do. A lot of people, when they talk to or hear of a financial advisor, they're thinking more of a money manager. And that's what most advisors do is they want to just manage a portfolio. They're typically not doing the comprehensive planning where it involves the estate planning, tax strategies, real estate strategies, all those things in a very holistic, comprehensive nature. And that's really what we focus on ourselves. So we're very good at asset management, money management, portfolio building, all the things that people typically think of when they think of a financial advisor, but we're more focused on the financial planning side, which allows those things. So as an example, I've got a client that most recently we've been talking for the last year or so. He's got an investment or rental property in another state, I think South Carolina, that
Mm-hmm.
he used to live in. Bought it with the the VA benefits, and was able to rent that out when he moved to a different duty station. Well, because he's planning on getting out and the impact that's going to have, we're talking through timing. Do you keep it? Do you rent it out? I ran multiple models so he could see the scenario of selling right now, taking that money and investing it versus the impact of rental flow over time that helped him make the decision, which was ultimately to sell the property. And then we're talking through what to do with that now moving forward. And then like your friends that you said that had bought houses every duty station they have, especially when they can use a VA loan and helping people navigate through, options. A lot of times they'll come to me and ask me for what they should do before they'll go to their mortgage lender or to a realtor or whoever it may be, because they want to make sure we have the strategy down right. And that's really what I focus on.
So the biggest part of what people gain from your services and your company's services is they get to organize, get a detailed view of how that money is going to amortize over the years. Do you suggest when they pull it out or when they start doing draws or things of that nature? Like say they retire or they want to go, well, I'll wait until I'm 65.
We do something even better. We actually give our clients, so part of what we do with our financial planning and our concierge planning primarily is we actually give our clients an actual financial plan that actually has their whole future kind of modeled out. So they can see, let's say they've gotten out and they've got disability, they've got retirement, they've got TSP money they've saved, they got rental property income,
Mm-hmm.
all those different things. Maybe they've taken a new job, a federal job now that's going to give them another TSP and a federal pension. We model out literally every single one of those streams year after year after year, withdrawals from IRAs or TSPs or 401ks, whatever it may be, and even show the impact of taxes now versus in later years. so they can see quite literally every single year what their life will look like, as we can reasonably predict, based on cash flow, their current savings rate, those type of things. And are they going to be in a scenario where they run out of money? And if that happens, how much more do we need to be saving to make sure that doesn't happen? Then once we do all of that and we've modeled everything out, then we do what we call probability analysis. So we stress test it. So then we run that simulation about 500 different times in 500 different scenarios: inflation, taxes,
Yeah.
market conditions, all those different things, and see how many times they still are going to be okay. Right. So every client that we work with on our concierge level, they're getting a full plan and they're seeing visually what their future looks like. And that's I find impactful, because most of us, we save, we put money away, we grow, and we say, I think it's going to be okay. But everyone knows how to put a dollar away for the most part, but very few people know how to strategize on pulling that dollar back out in an efficient manner.
Yeah, I could see that. That's definitely a thing. I know, like a lot of the, like I was in the army, so we had financial planners and stuff come in, and but they don't go into detail the way you do. A lot of it is just surface why you should do the thrift savings plan.
Yep.
Because from my understanding now that they no longer give the pension, it's all the 401k thrift savings plan.
Yeah, so the way that the benefits have changed, so in 2017, anyone newly coming in was automatically put in the new retirement program, and then anyone within the last, I think, 10 years of 2017 had the option to either stay in the old plan or go to the new one. So they still have a pension, it's just reduced now. And so basically the way that it works is, before you had a higher pension, no matching contributions in the TSP.
Yeah.
Now you have matching contributions in the TSP up to 5%, but your pension, if you do 20 years, is less. So the old plan, and for clients back then, 2017, 2018, in that time frame, I must have ran 100 different models for different clients that wanted to know what route they should go. And we pretty much decided, if you're staying in, you're staying in, you're doing 20 years, stay in the old plan. If you're getting out or you're undecided, you should go to the new plan. And so we modeled those scenarios so they could see and help make that decision. But basically now people are getting more money in an account, less money in a payout if they stay for 20 years.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that I was happy about, because I did it in 2000. I went in '89 and retired 2013,
Yeah.
and I when I heard about how they're switching it and everything, it's to save money.
Mm-hmm.
The government spends a lot on pensions,
Correct.
and but that, I think the military is one that shouldn't have. But then again, on the other end of it is, you got out in 19 years, you got nothing.
Also true.
So I think in a way, it protects the service member, and it gives them something, because you can transfer the TSP to your company's 401k, can't you?
Correct. You can roll it out into a IRA, company 401k. You can do all those things. You don't have to leave it in the TSP.
Yeah, because I look at it the old pension way, man. You get out at 37 or 38, you've got your rest of your life, another 40 plus years left,
Yep.
and the pension having the pension will make sure you are financially stable.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like with me, I have my disability and everything, and I don't need to work. But but with that, there's no investments and everything else that go into it,
Mm-hmm.
that I think a lot of people don't realize. When you're young and I got bored because I was used to chaos.
Right.
and living in chaos, and then come back here, there's like only if I woulda, coulda, shoulda. And I think what you do prevents that, correct?
It does because I'd say the majority of those that I work with, if they're getting out or they're getting medically retired, either way, they're getting another job when they get out.
Yes.
But the great thing is because of our planning, when they get out, they usually have money that's setting aside on top of the disability, on top of the retirement, all those different things. And then if we've planned accordingly and they've done their work on their end, maybe from an education standpoint or credential standpoint, whatever it may be, they come out, they get a really solid paying job. And then now we can talk through saving that 3, 4, 5 grand a month that they're bringing in between pension and disability.
Yes.
They don't need that money because they're getting paid a salary, and then we can build up this massive legacy for them. We can help build their wealth, whatever, help put, whatever it may be that they want to accomplish, we can do. And so by having the conversations early and really capturing the relationship early,
Mm-hmm.
we're really able to help them make some solid positive decisions in the long term. And what's really interesting is the average person last time I saw the statistic, the average person seeks a financial advisor at 45.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would pretty much eliminate the majority of the military, right? Their first conversation is at 45. Well, we're capturing relationships with individuals that are in their early 20s, mid 20s, early 30s, right? And so, how much more could they accomplish? Could a 25-year-old accomplish by 45 with the guidance of someone along their side that whole way? That growth is almost exponential. That difference of where they could be 20 years from now with the compounded effect of having someone on their team.
So, but are you subject to the volatility of the stock market?
Well, absolutely. Anything that's tied to the market in general, any type of investment is going to have volatility in it. But what's funny is, last year as an example, terrible year for the market. The 4 or 3 months during that COVID first happened, absolute terrible, scary time for the market. I can count out of almost 1,000 clients, I can count on one hand the amount of calls that I got of people concerned. And the reason why wasn't because they weren't concerned in general about seeing what's happening in the world of the market. It's because we spent the front end helping educate them and saying, hey, this is going to happen. We know it's going to happen. The market's going to have good years. It's going to have bad years, good days, bad days. We know this is going to happen. We've already factored that into your plan. No matter what, we're going to be okay with the plan that we're building. That's why
Mhm.
I'm not an advisor that touts returns or whatever it may be. I stress test against a plan, right? No matter what happens in the market, are you still going to accomplish your goals long term? And when we can make sure clients feel assured that no matter what's happening in the market on a day-to-day basis, that they're still going to be okay in the long term, that's when we've built that trust and we help alleviate a lot of fears and concerns. So yes, there's going to be volatility. My investment accounts went down last year. Everyone's did, unless you randomly decide that's when you wanted to put all your money in gasoline stocks, which no advisor would have recommended. So it just, again, it had to be complete luck that you did that. But if we plan appropriately, and the key is going back to what you said earlier, if we diversify, right, we don't put all of our eggs in one basket, all our eggs in one part of the market, then we can hedge a lot of that risk, especially if we have a long-term thought process as well.
Because I think with some of the veterans and everything that I interact with over the years, it's finances you didn't really discuss it,
Right.
other than if you're not paying your bills.
No, I get that, and a lot of people, money wasn't talked about in their household, right? So they've been regulated to learn from colleagues, friends, what to do. And that's why I think our practice, just being primarily word of mouth based, has been so successful, because the military is a close knit community, and many people, they'll come in, or to a meeting, or it'll be a virtual meeting because they're somewhere else in the country or world, and they'll say, "Yeah, my buddy was asking me why I was stepping out early. I was telling him I was meeting with the financial advisor. He's like, oh, you got one? I need to talk to him as well." Right? And that's kind of how our practice has expanded and kind of exploded, actually, honestly, over the years, because we work really, really hard to do a really good job for everyone we work with. And because of that, the blessings come from the opportunity to connect with the people that they love, know, love, and care.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing. Biggest thing is trusting a financial advisor, because I mean that's a huge impact on somebody.
Hmm.
And I know because I lost everything when I was in my 40s, and that was hard to start over.
Hmm.
But I looked at it and I was strategic in the way I was dealing with it, and that's why I started this, because I looked at it as another opportunity to, like you were saying, build that generational wealth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, at the end of the day, whoever you work with, you have to have trust in them. You know, as an advisor, that's one of the biggest compliment I receive is when someone feels comfortable referring me to someone that they know, like, and care. Um, I do my best to build trust. Uh, I joke that I was doing Zoom meetings before it was cool, because we've been building a nationwide practice for
Yes.
over 10 years now, and so I had to work really, really hard to build trust before it was the common thing to do on a virtual screen, right? And then now we've got people who are a lot more comfortable with it. But of course, if we can really make sure that we're listening, really conveying that we're listening and understanding, and at the end of the day, we can show them what we can accomplish and show them how we listen to their goals and how we can help them accomplish their goals. I think that's where the trust kind of naturally plays in. And even from the standpoint that, clients have my cell phone, they can text me, they can call me when they have questions. They're not a number. When someone calls, I know who they are. They do all these things to make sure that they always feel accessible, and that ideally no one ever feels like a number or an account or anything like that. Because if that's the case, we've missed the boat. But we work really hard to make sure that that's not the case.
All right. So we're getting close on time. Real quick, 30 seconds of how would somebody get a hold of you? What
Yeah.
type of services do you provide? And who's your target market?
Yeah, so you're welcome to reach out to me via LinkedIn if interested.
Okay.
Instagram is just my first name dot my last name. Or even my company, my website is Truicity Wealth Management, or truicitywealth.com. So you're more than welcome to reach out to me there. Again, typical client varies. I do work a lot in the military space, which is a large
Mhm.
niche that we work in. But separate from that, I do work with a lot of executives, or especially females that are in high leadership positions within their companies. I work with a lot of people in tech, real estate. Um, I don't necessarily care as much, how much your net worth is, what your income is. I want you to have the willingness, the capacity, and the desire to save and plan for the future, and everything else we can leverage from there.
Outstanding. Well, hey, I greatly appreciate you taking the time to speak or to have a great conversation. And like I said, it fly by. But to the most part, hey, if you guys want to get a hold of DeAndre Coke, just go on LinkedIn. He's on LinkedIn, easy to find, or go to his website and see what he can do. I think that finding a trustworthy financial advisor is a necessity. And
Absolutely.
I believe that everybody in the military, no matter what branch of service, you got to look for your future because it's not going to last forever. And you plan now and get the right mindset, anything's possible. So thank you again, DeAndre. I greatly appreciate your advice, and hopefully we can get military veterans and first responders and law enforcement to give you a ring and set them up to make sure that their twilight years are comfortable.
Perfect. I appreciate the opportunity, Philip. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Hey, and I look forward to talking with everybody again on my next conversation. So stay tuned. I don't have exact dates yet, but I find people that are phenomenal and are giving great things to this world and helping others in the process. And I thank you and can't wait to see you on the next one. Thank you.